Hey guys, going to go ahead and do a real quick update as I'm in the middle of heat treating this A2 tool steel blade for a customer of mine. This is my first time heat treating A2 or any type of air hardening steel. Normally I do carbon steels, oil quench steels. I've done 1095, W2, 01. And I've even done Damascus once or twice. But this is the first time I've done one that needed stainless steel foil envelope to keep the oxygen out. And what this does, because this needs to be heated to a very high temperature and soaked first at 1450 Fahrenheit and then ramped up to 1750 Fahrenheit for about half an hour to 45 minutes. Because of that high temperature, if it was left within an oxygenated atmosphere or without this sealed up airtight envelope, there'd be so much scale and decarb it would actually ruin the blade, ruin the steel. But as you can see, it came out fairly clean, all things considered. It's actually got some cool colors throughout. Gave it almost kind of a rainbow effect, some blues, some purples. And came out pretty much perfectly straight as when it went in, so very happy about that. Did a file skate test over it using a file here. Doesn't touch it at all. You can hear that skating across. And what I'm going to do now, hopefully my heat treating oven is cooled back down. This steel, being an air hardening steel, requires a little bit higher of a tempering temperature than standard carbon steels. See where we're at here. About 510. That's actually just about perfect. I was shooting for 500. So I'm actually going to stick this back in here, close it back up, and temper it at 500. Probably at first for an hour and a half, 2 hours, let it cool back down, and then temper it one more time for another hour, hour and a half. And the 500 degrees should give me a Rockwell hardness, I believe, if I remember correctly, in the upper 50s, probably 58, 59. If not, low 60s. But it should definitely be a workable hardness, something you could sharpen fairly easily, but still chop with and do heavy work with. So that's where we're at now. I'll turn that oven on in just a minute. And here's the stainless steel envelope. Still looks like it's relatively intact. We got plenty left, and actually another piece beside that laying around here somewhere. For this knife, which I'll hopefully get started on in the near future. This is A2 tool steel as well. And just to show you another blade I'm working on, this is an 8-inch chef knife. I've just kind of done some rough bevels on to heat treat it. I'll be taking this all the way to the spine. Getting this extremely thin. Put a real nice hair popping edge on it. Good for slicing, general prep work. And then I get that polished up. I think I want to straighten that out just a little bit. But we'll get that polished up. Put some black paper micarta handle scales, 1/4 inch on either side, with some brass 1/4 inch Corby rivets. And we'll have a nice usable 8-inch chef knife that I was originally making for myself. Might actually give this to a friend of mine at work. He's kind of been wanting a new chef knife for a while. And I'll let him test it out, see what he thinks of it. It is a little bit on the thicker side for a chef knife at 5/32. The normal knives you'll get at the store are at least half that thickness, if not a little thinner. But I wanted something nice and heavy, nice and stout. And once I thin this out all the way to the spine, I don't think you'll notice a huge difference as far as how well it slices. But I think you'll get a stronger knife because of it. So just a couple of projects I'm working on right now. Definitely a whole pile still on the bench. Some very near completion. Some still need heat treated. Actually, most of these have been heat treated. A couple need straightened out a little bit. This one is actually almost done. As is this little paring knife that really just needs handles and an edge, a little bit more polishing. But definitely going to be showing you guys a lot of finished knives, hopefully here in the near future. Definitely excited about this one. Not sure if I'll hang on to this or put it up for sale. Kind of a prototype I'm working on there. And got a little stick tang here as well that I'd like to get started on relatively soon. The antler laying around here somewhere. It's a miracle I could find anything around here. This is actually going to be the handle. Have a little bit of a ricasso there. And still need to remove this section back here a little bit in front to get my stick tang, leaving the ricasso, around that off a little bit. But probably going to wait on a set of file guides. I may want to purchase a set of file guides to get that squared off so I can get a real tight fit against the guard, which would be made out of stainless. But just to give you an idea, I'll probably have a little pommel plate down here, maybe even a little knob stuck in there, threaded and epoxied, and then I'll have some kind of guard. I haven't decided yet on the exact design, going across the top here. But real excited to kind of try my hand at my first stick tang, as well as my first guard. I normally don't put guards on my knives. I normally do full tang. This will be something completely different for me. It'll be one of the first times I've used a natural material as well for a handle. So definitely going to be a lot of firsts on this knives, maybe even my first leather sheath. Definitely stay tuned for that one. It'll be in the works probably fairly quickly. I think I want to finish a few of these first, as well as get some karambits cut out with my template there. I did actually cut several pieces of 2-inch wide 1095. Recently got an order in from Aldo, and cut 5 pieces to cut these out with. So probably do about 5 of those. And then I had the rest of that 4-foot piece I made another chef knife with. I'm going to cut out. I got that scribed down there. It's actually ended up in the floor over here. We're going to have to straighten that out a little bit. Unfortunately, the stock was very warped, which is just a byproduct of the rolling process. But I may be able to see, I traced the pattern out. I'll be making a slightly thinner one of these when it's all said and done. So that's the update, guys. We're at the 10-minute mark. Appreciate the views, and stay tuned for more.